Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is now just 49 days away from its official release by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, as well as creator George Lucas. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one aspect of Episode 9 that a lot of fans are very excited about is, of course, how J.J. Abrams is going to really introduce new types of Jedi, Sith, and Force lore, and how it's really all going to help the characters of Rey and Kylo Ren from start to finish of this story. That's actually going to allow them to have greater power against Palpatine in this movie in some way, shape, or form. Now, we do know that J.J. Abrams has a plan in place in order to make this by far the darkest Star Wars film there is out of the entire Skywalker saga. And with that being said, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film. And when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now, specifically, shot descriptions consisting of a sequence where it's explained that Rey is said to be traveling to the Lost City, where she is in search of ancient Jedi knowledge as well as new truths of the Force. It's explained that as she makes her way through a series of catacombs, Rey is said to make her way to a place called the Land of Warriors, which holds ancient Jedi knowledge and Jedi ruins and structures, where Rey is described to make her way through where she finds the Prime Jedi Temple, that is described to be very powerful as a Force nexus. During her time in the Prime Jedi Temple, she begins to hear the Force Ghost voice of Anakin Skywalker reaching out to her, where in the distance, it's explained that Rey is able to see the apparition of Anakin Skywalker, in which he appears older than how he did in Return of the Jedi as a Force Ghost. Anakin is described to provide ancient knowledge to Rey, where another scene that takes place in the third act of the film involves Anakin's Force Ghost voice once again reaching out to Rey during her battle against Palpatine and offering her energy from the netherworld of the Force. It's explained that this scene is said to serve as Anakins Sacrifice, where since he is said to lend Rey energy from the netherworld of the Force, is that Anakin will no longer be able to manifest as a Force Ghost for quite a long time in the mortal world. However, over time, Anakin will be able to materialize once again, someday, but the sacrifice Anakin makes for Rey to have a fighting chance is said to be that Anakin will no longer be able to communicate with others for years on end. Though other Force Ghosts also lend their energy from the netherworld to Rey, Anakin is said to provide the most from the netherworld of the Force. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, we do know that a lot of fans love the character of Anakin Skywalker. You know, he really is the true face of the Star Wars franchise, the character who becomes Darth Vader, redeems himself, saves his son, and allows Luke Skywalker to become a Jedi Master, trains a new generation of Jedi, and of course, hence we got the next conflict in place with Ben Solo. So, this particular moment is essentially Anakin indirectly going up against Palpatine, allowing Rey to have the power that she needs to fight Palpatine. Now, I'm not quite sure if a lot of fans will agree or disagree with this, but this is actually said to serve as Anakins Sacrifice, Sacrifice, where the energy that he lends to Rey is so much to the point where he's not going to be able to materialize as a Force Ghost for a number of years on end, until, of course, he is able to eventually materialize once again. How long? We're not quite sure. It could be 50 years, it could be 40 years, for all we know, right? Now, when we look at The Rise of Skywalker, we do know that J.J. Abrams is trying to introduce all these crazy ideas that we have never seen before in a live-action Star Wars movie. And to have Anakin Skywalker's Force Ghost offering Rey energy that she needs from the netherworld of the Force, and how that energy being transferred over from the netherworld to the mortal world is going to take a large toll on Anakin's Force Ghost and allows him to completely dematerialize and not exist for quite some time, for a number of years, is a big deal. I think that a lot of fans will view this as either a bad or a good thing by Disney and Lucasfilm. Now, of course, we do know that The Rise of Skywalker is going to change Star Wars lore and is going to introduce new types of Star Wars lore that the fans have never seen before in the Skywalker saga. And this, by far, is something that we have never seen done in a Star Wars movie. Now, of course, this was loosely based off of the original drafts of Return of the Jedi. You guys may recall that in the original scripts of Episode 6, we had Kenobi and, of course, Yoda helping out Luke Skywalker, deflecting the Force lightning from Palpatine back at Sidious, and basically just helping Luke Skywalker out in the throne room. Here we have a similar scenario where First, Anakin Skywalker lends most of the energy from the Netherworld to Rey, followed by all of the other Force ghosts of the past, helping out Rey in this particular scene. This includes Luke, Leia, Obi-Wan, and others. That really is going to allow Rey to have a fighting chance against Sidious. I know a lot of fans out there are very, a little skeptical about Rey being the one to defeat Sidious, and I agree. I'm really not all for that. I feel that it really should be Kylo Ren at the end of the day. But if all the Force ghosts are helping out Rey and are becoming a part of her in a sense, which we have talked about, it may make sense depending on how it's going to be executed. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.